How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another ETH update. It's been about a week since my last video, but I've let things develop and I've been cooking. ETH has been following my prediction pretty much exactly, and I still expect it to reach 2.7, 2.8k. Now, this is because Bitcoin's strength that it showed to reverse from 105 all the way back up to 109, 110k. Without Bitcoin, you wouldn't see this move happening, because even though I was calling for a pump from 2.1k, ETH pumped back into the previous support now as resistance. This is a worrying signal because what was previously a bottom and sending it up could now act as a top and send it lower. To test this low, maybe to double bottom again at 2.1k, or to even lose that level of support and looking for sub 2k as a key level. I would assume that it would find support before losing this. It would still be a high low, even in the worst scenario where this low was lost. But fear not, the EMAs were reclaimed. We're seeing the move that I've been calling for since this low, and that's for a recovery of the moving averages and a pump to 2.8, 2.7 to 2.8k. Please remember, the reason we got rejected here is because it was a previous lower high, as we were developing lower from this high, another lower high, another lower high. So each time we reach a previous lower high, there's going to be somewhat of a rejection. And so when 2.7 and 2.8k breaks, and I've shown reasons for these targets over here in previous videos, I just also assume that it's going to be an area where it struggles and fails out in the short term, simply because it's another previous lower high, as you see to the left. So another way we can see targets beyond this 2.8k high is if we place our current fibs, and you can see there's an overlap within this golden pocket zone. So with targets between 3.2, 3.4, inside of that 3.2 to 3.6 area. So we know break this zone of 2.7 to 2.8 now being overlapped with these more micro fibs here, the 886. I need to personally see that broken for bullish continuation. Without this area broken, 3.6k is a myth. It's not going to happen. So the only way I see that not happening is if Bitcoin gets rejected once again before a new all-time high. But with how some altcoins are positioned, briefly looking at a coin like Ondo at the very lows and it being a large cap, it can't afford Bitcoin getting rejected because it would lose the golden pocket and target new lows. So Bitcoin can't afford to get rejected. ETH would of course be forming a lower high without breaking this. It's not hitting 3.6k, so you could argue that this move up is a trap, and maybe something like this happens. Of course, that is definitely a possibility if Bitcoin fails. But I'm assuming, because Bitcoin has been ranging, let me get a fresher chart here, and it is at the range highs currently. It does need to break it. It's not yet a true breakout, but if successful, we're going to see the rest of the market pump, and that is how ETH breaks through 2.8k. Now, if Bitcoin gets rejected here, that's ETH also getting rejected under the golden pocket, failing to create the reversal wave, and that's why the trend could still be bearish in that case. But personally, with what the signs are saying currently, I think Bitcoin is going to be successful with this breakout. It might not happen this week as we're going into the weekend. It might be next week. So all I want to see through the weekend is the momentum completely flatten out. I don't really want a dump either, right? I just want it to stay flat and then pick up again next week. Let's see what it does over the weekend. See you in the next Ethereum update. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you want to learn how to use the fibs, the moving averages, my strategy, and how I predict these targets to the upside. Use the links down below. Take action on the ebook or book in a one-to-one call with myself.